Good day, viewers. This is Kesfem welcoming you to another edition of Economics UTME Review. Today, our focus is on question 26 to 40, that's UTME 2020. Before you continue with this video, I want you to like the video, comment, subscribe, and share. Question 26. The problem of conducting census include high rates of rural-urban migration. That's a correct answer. Now, the remaining factors affect the total population of a country. It is A, that is the main problem of conducting census, which is the head count of all nationals in a particular country, as you can see in this video, in this picture rather. Question 27. The factor of production with the highest degree of mobility, that's a factor of production that can move from one place to another, is labor. That's option B. Labor is mobile geographically from one geographical area to another within the country, outside the country. Labor is also mobile occupationally from one job to another, which could be vertical or horizontal. Number 28. In recent times, agriculture tends to lose its vital labor force as a result of rural-urban drift. The movement of people from rural to urban area is alarming. Agriculture is mainly practiced in rural area where we have a large expanse of land. When people start moving from rural to urban area, it reduces the labor force in the agricultural sector, as seen in this picture. Question 29. The most important goal of OPEC, the full meaning of OPEC is Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, is to take note of the question, the most important goal. That means there are other goals that are important, but the most important one is option A, which is to present a united front for the purpose of raising prices of crude oil. The remaining options are means of achieving the main objective. The main objective of OPEC is to stabilize the global oil price. Question 30. Plywood industries are located near the source of raw material because of the weight of plywood. So plywood, they are raw materials for manufacturing industries, for furniture making and construction companies as well. So for that, plywood industry should be located close to raw source of raw materials. Question 31. When a country's population is experiencing increasing returns, that country is said to be underpopulated. When a country is underpopulated, the total population is lower than the available resources, and that will facilitate production, leading to increasing returns to scale. When a country is overpopulated, that's an adverse effect. It really affects production. Economically poor is not related, overproducing is not. When a country does not experience increasing returns, when it's overproducing goods and services. When there's overproduction of goods and services, the country can decide to export the surplus goods and services that are produced. Question 32. The most important attribute of money, that's the most important quality of money, is general acceptance. Whatever we serve as money must be generally acceptable in any country. As you can see in this picture, we have 1,000 naira notes, and this man wants to buy tomato from this woman, and you can see the man exchanging the 1,000 naira notes in exchange for the tomato, and see other buyers as well doing the same thing. Let's continue. Question 33. The use of legally accept permissible means to reduce tax liabilities is known as tax avoidance. For tax evasion, it is a legal means of reducing tax liabilities. For tax relief, the government is reducing the amount of tax to be paid by the company. While for tax exemption, it is always done for infant industries, that's newly established industries, for them to grow before they can start paying tax. So they are exempted from paying tax for a period of time. So our correct answer is tax avoidance, option B. Let's proceed to question 34. The Economic Commission for Africa was set up by UNO, that's United Nations Organization. Economic Commission for Africa ECA was set up in the year 1958 by United Nations Economic and Social Council. 35. One of the techniques of monetary control used by the Central Bank of Nigeria is selective credit control. Selective credit control is a means that is used by CBN. It's one of the monetary control policies. Budget deficit, that's when the expenditure is greater than the revenue. Foreign exchange control is controlling the exchange rate. That's quite different. Monitoring general price level, that's related to inflation and deflation. So the one that is related to monetary control is selective credit control that is used by CBN. Question 36. Crude petroleum is a good example of a wasting asset. Crude petroleum, that's crude oil, is a non-renewable asset. Once it is explored and refined, it cannot be replaced. It's not a lasting asset because it's non-renewable. Synthetic product, that's a product that is created through chemical reaction or chemical process. And costless resources, no, crude petroleum is not costly, it comes with a cost. While exploring it, there is effects, can lead to oil spillage and others. So crude oil is a wasting asset. It cannot be replaced when it is explored and refined. Question 37. A major effect of a long chain of distribution is that it will lead to high retail prices before the goods will move from production center, that's from a factory. Let's take for example in Abuja here, before it will move to other parts, to other states in Nigeria, it will go through the wholesaler, different wholesalers, then get to the retailers before it will eventually get to the final consumer. So that will cause high retail price. Question 38. One of the major criticisms of the 1962 to 1968 National Development Plan was that its execution was based largely on foreign source financial resources. To implement the development plan, the execution was to be done based on we have to source for financial resources outside the country, and that's one of the criticisms against the national plan. Question 39. Utility is the satisfaction derived from consumption of a particular commodity. For example, Coke. Then taking a bottle of Coke, you derive satisfaction from it, and that's called utility. The last question for today. Economic growth is different from economic development because economic growth describes expansion and changes. That's expansion in the gross domestic product. That's the value of goods and services are produced within the country. So it can be expanding and changing. That means the economy is growing, but it's not developing. All right, with this, we have come to the end of our video for today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time and support. Once again, remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share the video. See you next time.